Hi everyone, welcome to the spectacular space, which is the Wondermaster Originals. Today we will be learning about the atmosphere, which is going to be our first topic for this series. So, episode 1, atmosphere. Okay, let's start with some introduction. Look up, just way up to the sky. You can see some clouds in the sky. The wind that is moving the trees or the flag in your schoolyard, and even the sunshine you feel on your face, which just directly hits in your face at the morning. These are all the result of the Earth's atmosphere. The Earth's atmosphere stretches from the surface of the planet up to as far as 10,000 kilometers, which is 6,240 miles above. So after the atmosphere blends into space. But generally, what is atmosphere? An atmosphere is the thin layer of air that surrounds the Earth, and it is made up of various gases such as oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, dust particles, and water vapor. The gravitational force of the Earth holds the atmosphere around it, and it protects us from the harmful rays and scorching heat of the sun. So you'll be learning details of the harmful heat from the sun after. So generally, this is some introduction. So now let's see the uses of this atmosphere. What makes this atmosphere so important? Really, it protects life on Earth by shielding it from incoming ultraviolet, also called as UV radiation. It keeps the planet warm through insulation and prevents extreme between day and night temperatures. And the sun heat layers of the atmosphere, causing it to convect, driving air movement and weather patterns around the world. So without it, we cannot live and we cannot even breathe, and it will be like a space. So without the atmosphere, there will be no use to this Earth. So now let's see about the 5 layers of atmosphere. So let's start. The atmosphere is divided into 5 different layers based on temperature. The layer which is closest to the Earth's surface is the troposphere. This reaches from about 7 to 15 kilometers, which is 5 to 10 miles from the surface. The troposphere is the thickest at the equator and much thinner at the north and south poles. The majority of the mass of the entire atmosphere is contained in the troposphere, between approximately 75 to 80%. Most of the water vapor in the atmosphere, along with dust and ash particles, are found in the troposphere, explaining why most of the Earth's clouds are located in this layer. The temperature in the troposphere decreases with altitude. Now let's talk about the next layer, which is the Tropos Stratosphere. Okay, this is the next layer up from Earth's surface. It reaches from the top of the troposphere, which is called the Tropos, to an altitude of approximately 50 kilometers, which is 30 miles. The temperatures in the stratosphere increase with altitude. A high concentration of ozone, a molecule composed of 3 atoms of oxygen, makes up the ozone layer of the stratosphere. This ozone absorbs some of the incoming solar radiation, shielding life on Earth from potentially harmful ultraviolet radiation, which is also called as UV light, and is responsible for the temperature increase in altitude. The top of the stratosphere is called as the Tropos. Above that is the Mesosphere, which reaches as far as about 85 kilometers, which is 53 miles above the Earth's surface. The temperatures decrease in the Mesosphere with altitude. In fact, the coldest temperatures in the atmosphere are near the top of the Mesosphere, about minus 90 Celsius, which is minus 130 Fahrenheit. The atmosphere is thin here, but still thick enough so that meteorites will burn up and they pass through Mesosphere, creating what we see as shooting stars. The upper boundary of the Mesosphere is called as Mesopause. The thermosphere is located above the Mesosphere and reaches out to around 600 kilometers, which is 372 miles. Not much is known about the thermosphere, except that temperature increase with altitude. Solar radiation makes the upper regions of the thermosphere, which is very hot, which reaches temperatures as high as 2000 Celsius, which is 3600 Fahrenheit. And the uppermost layer, which blends with that what is considered to be outer space, is the exosphere. The pull of Earth's gravity is so small here that molecules of gas escape into outer space. So this is all about the 5 layers of atmosphere. So now let's see what's wrong with the ozone layer and why I'm freaking out like that now. Yes, this is sad news. There is an ozone layer between troposphere and stratosphere, and there's an ozone hole. An ozone hole is nothing but scientists has found a small hole in the ozone layer. But why I'm talking it so serious, and what's the problem? And who is causing it? Yes, humans. We are causing it. But you may be saying, what did we do? As you can see in the video, by the factories and all these chemical things are going up to the sky, which is making a big disaster, because these factories just release carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid. It also causes acid rain, but really, let's talk about the atmosphere. So when this carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid goes up to the ozone layer, day by day, it makes a hole. That's what it is there today. Before, the ozone layer was perfect, and when UV rays comes to the ozone layer, it reflects and goes back to space. But now, the ozone layer is having a hole. So the UV rays is directly interfering below the ozone layer. And what is below the ozone layer? It is the stratosphere. No, it's the troposphere. And in the troposphere we live on. So it's affecting all the life organisms like birds, animals, trees, and even us. So, what is affecting us? So now, let us go detail on it, on the effects of UV rays to us, people. So the effects of UV rays is we get skin cancer or melanoma and non-melanoma and premature aging and other skin damage and cataracts and other eye damage and immune system suppression. You can see a man who is running in the beach is having a red spot, which is a sunburn, and this UV rays is causing it. And Since there's a hole, all this UV rays is directly interfering to the earth, and hence it's damaging our skin and body. So we can see that when somebody is surfing here, but he got a black spot, which is a skin cancer, is one of the things. But let's see more in more detail. So there are two types of UV rays, which is UVA and UVB. The UVA is the most dangerous one. This UV rays generally the skin has many layers as the atmosphere. So the outer layer is the epidermis, and when we go more inside we can see dermis, and when we go at the inside layer it is hypodermis. This UVA is affecting and going inside the dermis itself. So, but UVB is only going inside epidermis. So we don't get a very good, but we get rashes. But when UVA is more dangerous and go inside the dermis, which creates a permanent cancer or burns, so which is very dangerous. As you can see to this girl, we can see there are many spots there, so which is a very good example. So now let's look out the eye. So the UVAs can also hurt your eyes, as I said before. So the excess sun exposure can put the eye to risk. So we can get eye cancer, cataracts, sunburnt eyes, growths underneath the eye. So as I said, we can also get cancer in our eye, and contrast, we can get blind, and sunburnt eyes, so we get exposure, and growths on near eye, so we can get like floating water droplets in our eyes, so we need some surgery. Are you panicking? Yes, you need to panic, but how can we protect yourself from UV radiation? Yes, I have the solution. You can stay in the shade, especially during the midday hours, and you should wear clothes that cover your arms and legs, and consider options to protect your children who have them, and wear a wide brim hat to shade your face, head, ears and neck, and wear a wrap around sunglasses that block both UVA and UVB rays. Use sunscreen with sun protection factor or SPF 15 or higher for both UVA and UVB protection. Avoid endotanning. Endotanning is particularly dangerous for younger users. People who begin endotanning during adolescence or in early adulthood have a higher risk of developing melanoma, which is a very dangerous disease. Okay, so now we have learned how to save ourselves. But how can we save our planet, the ozone layer, which has the hole? How can the hole recover? For that also I have a solution. What it is? We need to avoid the consumption of gases dangerous to the ozone layer due to their content or manufacturing process. Some of the most dangerous gases are CFS, which is chlorofluorocarbons, halogenated hydrocarbon, methyl bromide and nitrous oxide. Minimize the use of cars, and the best transport option is the urban bicycle or walking. If you use a car to a destination, try to carpool with others to decrease the use of cars in order to pollute less and save. And there are many ways to also protect it. Like we can also buy local products. In this way, you not only get fresh products, but you avoid consuming food that has traveled long distances. As there are more distant travel, the more nitrous oxide is produced due to the medium used to transport that product. Maintain air conditioners as their manufacturing cause CFC to escape into the atmosphere, and do not clean products that are harmful to the environment and to us. Many cleaning products contain solvents and substances corrosive, but you can replace these dangerous substances with non-toxic products such as vinegar and bicarbonate. So, save the ozone. Save your future generations. And when you do this, surely the whole will recover. And do not forget to save our planet. This is from Sanjay and team.
Look at the
So I think we have an amazing moral and you can get lots of information from this video. So
yeah, wait a minute.
bye everyone.
This looks like
I
a
will
nice
see you in the
topic.
upcoming episodes of
Idea.
this series. So see ya. Bye.
In the next episode. Bye.
Series to be continued.